Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. How are we doing this evening? I think we're live. We're good. Everybody can hear me. Microphones on. Hey, guys. My name is Kristen Wells, and I am the owner of Perfect for Candles, which is a candle-based business here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we partner with Promise Resource Network every couple of weeks to bring you these videos where we make some candles and we talk about healing in the process and healing as it pertains to candle making. So thank you everybody for joining on tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's about 5:01. I want to wait a little bit for a couple more people to come on, but we're just going to jump in and everybody will get in where they fit in. How about that? All right. So again, my name is Kristen Wells. I'm the owner of Perfect for Candles here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I started making candles as a part of my healing process for my own trauma and different things like that. So I want to bring you guys as many things about healing and candles as I can, because that's my thing. So welcome. If this is your first time with us, welcome, welcome. If this is your second, third, fourth, fifth time, welcome back. We are happy to have everybody with us tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We want to thank Promise Resource Network for sharing this platform with us. As always, we really, really appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and jump in. So tonight's topic, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I had to pull this one out because lately I've been feeling stuck, right? Like I've been feeling my personal life, my professional life, my career, everything. I've just been feeling really, really stuck. And hi to everyone on Instagram. I didn't forget about y'all. Hello. So I've got Facebook on the computer and Instagram on the phone. So if you see me switching back and forth, that's what I'm doing. But yeah, so lately I've been feeling kind of stuck and kind of uninspired and like, what's the point and what is there to do? And I feel like I should be doing more than what I'm doing. And so this video tonight was a little bit of a challenge for me to put together, but as I was meditating and praying and just kind of figuring out my life throughout the week, tonight's topic came to me. It came to me in a dream. Tonight's topic came to me. And so the topic for tonight is you are right where you belong. You are right where you need to be. And I want to delve into this topic with you all because, like I said, I've been feeling kind of stuck, uninspired. Has anybody else been feeling like that? Been feeling maybe like, what am I supposed to be doing? How much more can I do? I'm not doing enough. And just generally feeling kind of like, meh, 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 you know? That's part of overthinking, right? Like asking yourself this mountain of questions, right? Asking yourself 17 questions in a row without giving yourself time to process and answer one question. It's part of overthinking. And through this past week, I have been learning that overthinking, over-examining will rob you of your moment. It will take away your time and your moment that you have with yourself or that you have with God or with nature or with friends or with family. Overthinking, over processing, over planning will take away your moment. And have you ever heard the term make a mountain out of a molehill? Like, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. That is something we say here in the South. So if you're not in the South and you're watching, that's a Southern thing, I think. Mainly just a Southern thing, but don't make a mountain out of a molehill, right? Like, don't make things bigger than what they are. And that's what overthinking does. Like, you have these questions and you see these obstacles in life, and you see these challenges and you build more and more on these challenges until they become obstacles, or they feel like they're obstacles and they feel like they're insurmountable, because you've just been asking yourself a crap ton of questions, right? So I want to share with you guys really quickly how this kind of came about. So if you're in Charlotte or around Charlotte, you're familiar with Crowder's Mountain. It's in Gastonia. They call it a baby mountain, but let me tell y'all something. If that's your first mountain, there is no such thing as a baby mountain, okay? I've been wanting to go to Crowder's Mountain for a while. And the other day, me and my boyfriend finally had time in our schedules to go to Crowder's together. So we took our dog, we went to Crowder's. I was so excited. I was so excited. And I'm mad at y'all. Y'all that go to Crowder's Mountain and take these cute pictures and you hike to the top of the mountain. There is nothing cute about Crowder's Mountain, y'all, if you've never been. Like, I was exhausted. I was so tired. And I knew that it was a hike, so I knew I was going to be tired, but like, I wasn't expecting how tired I was. So we had fun. We hiked through the mountain, went around the backside trail. We didn't hike all the way to the top, to the summit. We went around the back. And by the end of it, I'm getting like really winded. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go home. So we asked this fellow hiker who was passing us as we were walking. And she's like, yeah, the parking lot is just right there. Like, you're right at it. So I'm like, yes, thank God. Y'all, there's 2 parking lots. We get to the parking lot at Crowder's Mountain, and it is not the parking lot that we parked at. So I found a park ranger, and I go, hey, is there like another trail or like something that like loops back to the visitor center? And he gave me that look like, So at that point, I was informed that my options were to hitch a ride with a stranger, which I'm a Black girl in the mountains of North Carolina. I'm not hitching no ride with no stranger. And then the other option was to call a Lyft or an Uber. So I called the Lyft, and because we're in the mountains, I didn't get a signal. And so my Lyft never confirmed. It never showed up. And so the only way back to the car was to hike back the way we just came. And when I tell y'all, me and my boyfriend, like, if you know us in public or in person, my boyfriend is like a go-getter, right? So he's like, yes, let's do it. Let's just hike back. It's fine. Y'all, I started crying. I started crying. I had an emotional breakdown because I was like, I just came this way. There's no other options. There's no other. So it came to me as I was hiking back to the car, which I ended up not hiking. He hiked back and came and picked me up. But as I tried to hike back to the car, it came to me that I've been so excited to come here and to see this beautiful mountain and to see all of these trees and grass and nature. And I missed it. I missed my happiness. I missed this moment that I had been waiting for so long because I was overthinking it. I was overthinking about the Lyft and the Uber, and we parked here, but we got to walk back. I missed out on everything that I went there to get because I didn't feel like I was where I needed to be. I felt overwhelmed. I felt like I was like, I was just like, there has to be another way. I pulled up the GPS. They was like, you got to go back. You got to go back the way you came. It was stressful. It was very, very stressful. But I realized that if I had just stopped overthinking, and if I had just been present in the moment, if I had just mentally allowed myself to be present in that moment, I would not have had a mental breakdown. So when you overthink things, it can take all the joy and the magic out of your moment. If you guys have watched my videos before, you know I have my notes with me. So if I keep looking down, it's because I have my notes. But when you overthink things, when you're where you're supposed to be, but you don't feel like that's where you're supposed to be, you can rob yourself of the magic of the moment, the joy of the moment. And then you just drove 45 minutes to Crowder's Mountain for no reason, just to have a nervous breakdown. You could have did that at home. So that's what we're talking about tonight. If you're just hopping on, welcome, welcome. Tonight, our topic is you are right where you belong. You are right where you need to be. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our candles. Tonight, the candle that we're making is a new scent. Coffee break. The candle that we're making is a new scent. It's called Peach Prosecco. And I was inspired to make this scent. I did a couple pop-up shops last weekend and the weekend before. And there was a young lady who came to the table and she was there for so long, which I have no issue with. She had so many questions, which I loved answering. And she bought a couple candles, but she really wanted something that smelled like peach. And so in honor of, I want to say her name is Stephanie. If you are watching and your name is not Stephanie, I'm sorry. But in honor of that sweet, sweet, amazing young lady, I decided to come up with a peach scented candle. So the oils I'm using tonight is Peach Prosecco from the Candle Maker store. and pink sugar crystals from Candle Science. Y'all know, if y'all been watching, y'all know I love me some Candle Science. So I'm going to go ahead and put our wax into our wax melter. And we'll go ahead and let that get all melted down. So I want to show you guys this, if I can get all the wax out of here. I want to show you guys this jar that I got from TJ Maxx. A lot of the times, if you guys shop on my website and you see like the specialty candles and stuff, they come from TJ Maxx. I love TJ Maxx. There's no shame in my game. Love it, love it, love it. So I got this, and I don't know if the ring light might be too bright, but you guys see her? She's cute. Instagram, can y'all see her? She's cute, right? So I got 3 of these in different colors. There's this pinkish one, there's a beige one, and a light blue one. So those will be on the website next week. If you guys are interested in those, they'll all be different scents and things like that. So so I got those, and then I got some of our regular size jars just in case we made too much wax, because we don't want to waste anything. So we're gonna go ahead and let our wax melt, and let's get back to our topic tonight. You are right where you need to be. You are right where you belong. Stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking it, because you're going to rob yourself of the joy and of the magic of the moment. When it comes to healing, because that's what we're all about here. We're all about our candles and our healing. When it comes to healing, overthinking can make you stagnant, right? And we've talked in some of our previous videos about stagnation and how it can contribute to other mental health crises, right? Like depression or anxiety, where you are procrastinating, or you're stuck, or you're just not doing what you know you need to be doing, and you end up pushing yourself further away from what it is you're supposed to be doing, because now you're depressed, or you're anxious, or you feel ashamed, or whatever emotions you may be going through. So overthinking can definitely contribute to being stagnant. And as we talked about in our last video, healing is a verb. Healing is an action word. Healing is something that you do, something that you are active in. We always talk about playing an active role in your own healing. And so there's no room for stagnation when it comes to healing, right? There is no room to be stagnant. What there is room for, though, is rest, right? There's room for rest. There's room to get tired. There's room to slow down. There's room to try new things. As long as you keep moving forward, as long as you keep going. Taking time to rest is not bad. Rest is not a dirty word, right? Tired is not a dirty word. And it's okay to take the time to just be like, I am exhausted and I need to sit down and regroup, especially when things don't go as planned, right? We had a video where we talked about our plans getting thrown off, our habits getting thrown out of whack. And sometimes when that happens, you need to take a pause, put a pause on things, right? But life is a journey. Life is a crazy, wild ride of a journey. And there's supposed to be ups and downs and highs and lows, goods and bads, all the opposites, hamburger. Like life is a journey. Life is a roller coaster, however you want to look at it. There's supposed to be hills and valleys throughout your life. And if you think about a road trip, right? Like think about if you get in the car right now, if you live in Charlotte and you get in the car right now and you want to go to Los Angeles. Why you would drive to Los Angeles instead of flying, that's not my business. But for the sake of this argument, you're driving from Charlotte to Los Angeles. If you put it in the GPS, it takes you 35 hours. So a day and 9 or 10 hours, right? Now, we know from common sense, it's going to take you more than a day to get from Charlotte to Los Angeles by car. It's going to take you more than a day. You know why? Because when you put it in the GPS is not accounting for traffic, accidents, flat tires, gas, running out of gas, having to fill up your gas, bathroom breaks, rest breaks. The GPS is giving you that time frame based on you going straight through, based on you making no stops. And anyone who's ever been on a road trip knows you got to make some stops. I don't care if you're going from Charlotte to Rock Hill. You got to stop and use the bathroom at some point, right? Think of your life like a road trip. if you get in your car right now and you go from Charlotte to Los Angeles and you don't stop, you're going to run out of gas. You're going to be tired. You're going to have to use the bathroom. Like, you got to stop and get snacks. Like, if you just go, you are going to end up prolonging your trip. Because now you got to deal with all the things that you could have just dealt with on the way. Think of your life like a road trip. Think of your life like a journey. If you get in your car and you just go through life at 100 miles an hour, no stopping, for one, you're going to prolong your trip, because life is not meant for you to just go at 100 miles an hour without stopping, right? Life is meant, like we said, to have ups and downs. Life is meant to have good and bad. It's a journey. It's made up of moments and experiences. And the second thing, if you just go 100 miles an hour nonstop, you miss all the sights, right? If you put it in your GPS, Charlotte to Los Angeles, you have 3 different routes on an iPhone. I don't know about MapQuest or Google or Waze, but on the iPhone, it gives you 3 routes. And they all take the same amount of time, 35 hours, roughly. But there's one route that takes you through Arkansas, Oklahoma, New Mexico. There's one route that takes you through Louisiana, Texas. There's so many things to see there, right? There's so many sites and landmarks and weird little roadside knickknack shops that you can stop and take pictures at and make memories, especially if you are going on a road trip with your family or something like that, or a loved one, a significant other. But if you just get in your car and go, you're not going to stop to take pictures at the landmarks. You're not going to stop to sightsee. And then it's like, well, what's the point of a road trip if you're not looking at everything that's going on around you, right? So think of your life like a road trip. And no matter which route you take, like I said, it gives you 3 routes. No matter which one you take, you got to go to all those different places. You don't have to stop in every one, but you got to go through all of those different places. You are right where you are supposed to be. Because in life, you have to go through different places, different phases, different seasons, different people, different relationships, different experiences. You have to go through all of those things so that at the end of your life, like somebody one time said that life is like a book, right? And every year of your life is a new chapter. So what kind of book are you writing for yourself? So you have to pay attention to the sights, see the landmarks, right? Within your own life. Because, I mean, if you don't, what kind of book are you writing for yourself? At the end of your time here in this realm, what would you like to say that you saw, that you did, that you felt, that you experienced? And if you just get in the car and go 100 miles an hour nonstop, it's going to be a really, really short book, okay? With really small chapters and really big print. And we don't like books with big print, right? So let's check on our wax, right? We're going to think about our life as a road trip. I'm setting up a narrative for you guys. Are you following with me? Comment, let me know you're following. I want to make sure everyone's following along. But I'm going to go ahead and check on our wax. And it looks like we are all melted. I'm going to just check the temperature here really quickly. Let's see. Roberta said North Carolina to New York took 14 hours. Listen, my dad is from Philly, and me, him, and my sister, and when him and my mom were still married, she would come sometimes too. We would go to Philly like every summer. And as a kid, you can sleep in the car. You wake up when you're in Maryland and you hold your breath when you go through the tunnel and stuff like that. But as an adult, I took that trip as an adult. It's not for me. Not for me, which gives me, it kind of puts me in a dilemma because I don't like planes. So I don't really know how I'm going to be doing all this traveling and stuff. But yes, Roberta, that is going anywhere from North Carolina up north is a really, really long trip. All right, you guys. So our wax is all melted. I'm going to go ahead. I used about 32 ounces of wax. If there's any like candle makers or if anyone likes the candle science, candle spiel, I used 32 ounces of wax. And I'm going to pour it into my pouring pitcher, and then I'm going to let it cool down. And then we'll add our fragrance oil, and then we'll let it cool some more, and then we'll pour it in our jars. So think about your life as a road trip. Think about the journey of your life and the journey that you want to take within your life, right? And then I think I said it already, but like anyone who takes road trips, like I think my dad is watching and he can attest to this. Anyone who takes road trips knows you never get there at what time you plan to get there. Like you never do. You never do. Like you could be like, yeah, we're gonna touch down at Virginia Beach at 2:30. You ain't gonna get to Virginia Beach until 5:15. I bet. Alrighty. So it looks like our wax is at a good temperature, and we're just going to go ahead and let it cool down. And we're going to keep talking because I feel like, we're getting into some good stuff here. All right, cool beans. So your life is a journey. Your life is a road trip. And you are at this point in time, at this moment, exactly where you need to be, exactly where you are supposed to be. You got to enjoy the sights and the smells and the landmarks. That's one page of notes, you guys. Okay. If anyone's keeping up with the notes. So I keep saying you got to see the landmarks, see the sights. What are the sights in your life? What are the landmarks in your life? And if you guys are watching, feel free to chat with each other, comment, all of that good stuff. Let's see. Aaron Perna. Yes, rest is not a dirty word. Not at all. I think sometimes in society, we especially the society that we live in, we have this notion that you're supposed to be a workhorse until you die. And so when you say, oh, I'm taking a couple years off of work, or I'm taking time to travel, or people kind of look at you like, you're not working? What do you mean? No, rest is not a dirty word. Relaxation is not a dirty word. Self-care is not a dirty word. So normalize rest. So seeing the sights within your life, the sights in your life, that's growing, learning, becoming more of yourself, healing from your trauma, breaking generational curses. Those are your landmarks. Those are the sights to see in your life. Those are the moments where you sit back and you say, wow, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe that this is where I am right now. And you take a moment and you bask in it, right? You take a moment and you enjoy being where you are. Sometimes it's good to compare yourself, right? Like, oh, this is how far I've come. It's always good to see how far you've come, especially when you have goals that you set. You want to look back and see what you've achieved and what you still have to work on. But it's never good to compare, right? Comparisons, whether you're comparing yourself to yourself, comparing yourself to other people, it's never good to compare because I'm 26. I'll be 27 in October. I am not the same person I was when I was 23. Or 20 or 19. I was a completely different person. And so if I compare 26-year-old Kristen's achievements to that of 19-year-old Kristen, there were still achievements. There's still things to be proud of, but I'm exactly where I need to be right now. I'm at a different place in my life. And so it is okay to acknowledge your progress, to acknowledge your achievements, but try to stay away from comparisons, right? So your sights and your landmarks in your life, your growth, learning from your experiences, all of that stuff is part of the process of your journey, right? That's the stuff you stopping to fill up gas and you stopping to get some snacks at the convenience store and you found this really pretty field of flowers on the side of the highway and you want to stop and take pictures. Those are the things, the moments that even if you're taking a trip somewhere, those are the moments that you're going to remember the most, right? Those are the pictures that you're going to have 30, 40 years from now, look back and say, wow, I forgot we did this, right? The beautiful thing about stopping to smell the roses is that this is your life, right? This is your life. And I think if there's any millennials, I know some people don't like that term, but I am a millennial myself. So if there's any millennials watching, I think this is something that we have been learning as we grow into adulthood. And it's something that I tell my boyfriend all the time, like when he goes to work and he has like conflict with coworkers or things like that. And he's like, oh, I don't know. And I have to tell him you're not in school. There's no teachers. There's no principals. This is your life. And you are in charge of your life. I think so many times we question our place and our position in life because of other people's ideas or other people's notions of who we are or who we should be. And we just talked about in our society, it's about work, work, work. It's our society says you leave home at 18, you go to college, you get a good job, you get married, you have some kids. And that sounds great. Sounds wonderful. But that's not everyone's reality, right? That's not everyone's idea of happiness. And it's definitely nowadays with the economy and the pandemic and things, that's not everyone's reality nowadays, right? Like for a long time, I think I mentioned this in another video. Like I am a college dropout. I'm more than a college dropout. I'm a business owner. I'm a daughter. I'm a dog mom, a plant mom, but I am a college dropout. And when I dropped out of college, due to my depression and just not being able to keep up with it, and I moved back home, I was so upset with myself because I felt like I failed, right? I tried to get in my car and go through life 100 miles an hour. Had this plan for everything I was going to do. And it took me a while to realize that moving back home was actually the best thing that has ever happened to me. Moving back home was the best thing. It saved my life to move back home and be with my family and be around people that know me and that love me and that don't judge me. And I'm learning that it's not about where you think you should be by now, because that was always my thing. Like, oh, I'm this age, I should be here by now. Or I'm this many years old, I should be here by now. I'm learning that it's not about where you think you should be by now. It's about where you are. And it's about going where you want to go because it's your life. And if today you want to go here, if today you want to go to point A, and then tomorrow you say, you know what, I don't really want to go to point A. I want to go to like F, G, K. It's your life. You could do whatever you want to do. And that, I think, is the beauty of growing up and realizing who you are. That's the beauty of growing up and healing yourself, playing an active role in your healing, because nobody's in charge of you, right? I think a lot of people, if you're of a certain religion or things like that, you do realize that your life belongs to a higher power. And that is beautiful. That's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, you still have free will and you still have choices that you can make to create the life that you want to have. And I think that is a very beautiful thing. So we are still waiting on our wax to cool down. It's taking a little longer than I expected, but that's okay. We're just going to keep talking. My dad said, you didn't drop out. You were finished with the part of that journey and you moved on to the next. I like that a lot better. I used to have a thing about telling people that I was a college dropout, because people kind of look at you like, oh, especially like people I went to high school with, or like people like my old teachers and stuff like that. They're like, oh, you didn't graduate. Oh, you were so smart. What happened? What happened? Like nothing happened. I was done. Coffee break. I know my cup says, I don't know if y'all can see it. My cup says tea, but I'm drinking coffee out of it. I have the one that says tea and my mom has one that says coffee. So we have matching coffee mugs if anybody cares. But yeah, life is not about where you think you should be by now. It's about where you are and where you want to go. And again, our topic tonight, you are right where you belong. You are right where you need to be. And where you think you need to be is actually sometimes exactly where you don't need to be, right? I remember my sister one time, my older sister, Erin, we were going somewhere and, we were driving, we had a nice speed going, a nice groove, and some car turned in front of us and they were going slow. Like if you're that person that turns in front of people and goes slow, I want to know why. Like, I just want to talk. But we were going somewhere and someone turned in front of us and was just going super slow. And I asked her, I said, are you not going to go around them? And she said, no. She said, maybe I would have. And she explained to me, she said, a couple months before we were driving, she was going somewhere and a car got in front of her and started going really slowly. And she went to go around the car And she realized that there was a police officer, a trooper, I think, a state trooper, a little ways ahead. And she didn't get a ticket, but she said that that moment made her realize that sometimes things happen to you for a reason. And sometimes things happen to you, to save your butt, keep you from getting in trouble, keep you from messing up when you don't need to mess up, when you don't have to. And it was very simple, and it was very much about like cars and not getting pulled over and getting a ticket. But y'all know me, I took that and made it like a whole thing. So thank you, Aaron. But sometimes where you think you should be or where you want to be in life is exactly the place that you don't need to be, right? Whether you believe in God or the universe or a higher power or ancestors, spirit guides, whatever it is, whether you're an atheist and you just believe in the power of you, right? You sometimes will want so bad to have something, want so bad to be somewhere. And for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem attainable. And you start to kind of blame yourself sometimes, right? You're kind of like, why? Like I'm doing the work, I'm putting in the practice, like I'm doing everything that I need to do, and it's just not happening. Sometimes it's not meant to happen, because at the end of the day, you are exactly where you need to be. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. There's so many things in life that I thought I wanted. And when I got them, I finally got them, and I was so miserable, like so miserable. And again, college was one of those things for me. Like I was happy until I wasn't. I met my friends who are still my friends. I love them to death. But at a certain point in my journey, that wasn't where I needed to be, right? So I'm going to go ahead and add in our fragrance oil because our wax is cooled down now. So again, we're using Peach Prosecco from Candle Maker Store and pink sugar crystals from Candle Science. So y'all know I can't multitask, so give me just a second to pour this in here. So based on our measurements, we should be using about 2.6 ounces of fragrance oil. And there we go. I'm going to do 2 ounces of the Peach Prosecco because I want the peach to be like the dominant scent in this candle. And then I'm going to do 0.6 ounces of the pink sugar crystals, which I think is about all I have left in here. Anyway. Let's see. You guys still chatting? And I hope I'm not rambling. I hope I'm not just like going off on a tangent. I really, really worked really hard to put this video together tonight because I feel like I believe that there's this like stream of consciousness in humanity, right? And I believe that, like, have you ever had an idea and you don't act on it, and like 3 days later, someone else has the same idea, and you're like, did they steal that idea from me? Hey, Amanda, hey. I don't think some people do plagiarize now, but I think that there's a stream of consciousness within humanity. And when one person or 5 people or 3 people feel something, I think other people are feeling it as well. And so I think when you get a message or when you hear something that you feel like you need to share, I think you should go ahead and share it. So I hope I'm not rambling for you guys. Y'all saw me over here sipping my coffee. So if I'm going too fast, let me know. All right. So we've got our fragrance oil pretty much poured in. I like to slow pour it. Again, if anybody's like a candle person or they want to know the process, I like to slow pour my fragrance oil into my cooled wax. Oftentimes the fragrance oil is, I just store it like in my studio area. So it will be room temperature, which is normally in my house about 70 something degrees. And the wax is not room temperature. So if you pour it really quickly, it cools the wax down way too quickly. It doesn't give your scent time to dissipate, so it won't be that strong, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and just stir this up and wait for the wax to cool down just a little bit more, and then we'll pour it. So again, you're right where you need to be in life. You're right where you're supposed to be. And sometimes it's not about where you think you should be by this point. It's about where you are and where you want to be. And how you plan on getting to where you want to be. That's a big thing too. But that's the beauty of realizing that, like I said, this is your life. It's your life and you are in control, and you can change your life at any time, at any part of the journey, right? So you're like, okay, Kristen, you're saying that, I'm right where I'm supposed to be, but what if I don't feel that way? What if I don't feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be? Or what if I know that this is not where I'm supposed to be? Because sometimes that happens, right? People are not a monolith. We're not all exactly in the place we're supposed to be, right? I wish we had smell-o-vision. Y'all, this smells so good. Oh, so good. So what if you don't like where you are? What if you don't feel like you are where you're supposed to be, right? Change is a beautiful thing. And we had a video, I want to say a couple videos ago, where we talked about embracing and accepting change, right? Because you have to accept it and then you can embrace it, right? Change is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's scary, but it's beautiful. And being the master of your own life, being in charge of your own life, means that you can change it at any time. If you don't like the direction that your life is going in, you have the authority to stop and put a pause and say, hey, this ain't it. This is not giving what it's supposed to give, and I'm not here for it, right? So you have the option and the opportunity to change your life. And that, like I said, it can be scary, but once you get over that fear, that's a beautiful thing, man. Like, I hate that I keep going back to like my college days as an example, but like, I'm only 27. That's all I have to go on right now. Do y'all know how many times I changed my major? Like, have I ever told y'all about me changing majors? Listen, I went to college as a double major with history and political science. Second semester of my freshman year, I changed it to a double major with history and political science with a minor in anthropology. Your girl was doing too much, okay? Overachieving. My sophomore year, I dropped history and was just political science major, anthropology minor. And for some reason, like, I was a part of this club and we hosted this talent show, and somebody said, you know what, you should like do events. Like, you should be an event planner. So I changed my major from history, political science, anthropology to like event planning and hotel management. And then from there, I changed it to something obscure, journalism or some communication. I don't know. But even though I was kind of like not in a good place when I was there, I realized that I didn't like the direction I was in. And I changed it. I changed it a lot. But it was my life. I could change it as much as I wanted to, right? It was my life and it was Uncle Sam's money. But that's the beauty of realizing that this is your life and you are the master of your life. You are in charge of your life, and you can change directions. You can change courses as many times as you want to. There was a small article that I read a few years ago. You guys remember the Marvel movie Black Panther with Chadwick Boseman? There was a lady in the movie. She's like 90 something years old. She always wanted to be in movies. She always wanted to be an actress, but she just never, she never did it. She did something else, got married, had kids, had a different career. And then she decided at the age of 90 something that she really, really still wanted to be an actor. So she tried out for this movie, and she had a role in Black Panther at the age of 90 something, after living an entire life doing other stuff, because she realized, and I don't know when she realized it, but she realized that this is her life and she is in charge. And she said, before I die, I'm going to achieve my dream. And she up there in Black Panther. Beautiful. It doesn't matter when you choose to change your path. It doesn't matter when you decide that you want something different. It doesn't matter when. The time frame doesn't matter. Whenever you decide, that's it. It's your life. It don't matter. It doesn't matter if people say you're too old or you're too young, or you spent all your time in this one industry and now you just want to completely change. Yeah, I do. Because I want to try something else. It doesn't matter the time frame. And I think a lot of times, again, in our society, we like to normalize this idea of being good at one thing, right? Of just being a master of one thing. But we are not monoliths, right? We love different things. We love sports and art and music and politics and nature and food and cars, and people love all sorts of different things. And so at the end of the day, if you've been a banker for 20 something years and you wake up and decide, you know what, I really, really, really want to be a zoologist. Like, I like animals. I want to work with animals. Go to school and be a zoologist. It doesn't matter what people think about you, is what I'm trying to get across to you guys, right? It doesn't matter what people think about you. It doesn't matter when you do it. It matters how you do it. It matters how you do it. And excuse me, I had a quote that I was going to share with y'all, and I think I skipped my quote. I found my quote. Martin Luther King Jr. said, when you overthink, you can take all the joy and magic out of your moment. Or nope, that was me. I said that. Martin Luther King Jr. said, you don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. And that's something that my dad taught me too. He said it in a different way. He said, you can't eat a whole pizza by yourself in one sitting. You can, but you're going to have some belly issues. You eat a pizza slice by slice. It doesn't matter which slice you pick up first. You just eat it slice by slice. It doesn't matter when you choose to change your path. You're in charge of your life. I'm going to go ahead and pour our wax because it's cooled down. It smells amazing. I want to do like live classes because I feel like if people could smell this, like, I feel like this smell could fix the world, right? It smells so good. So I've got our cutesy little jar poured already. I'm going to go ahead and pour some of our regular jars because I made an abundance of wax. And these candles will be on our website, perfectforcandles.com. They'll be on our website. They have to cool for 24 hours, and then I'll put the flowers and everything in them. But they will be on our website within the next few days. If not, probably Monday. Let's say that. I will commit right now to you all, to everyone watching. I'll commit that these candles that we're making, Peach Prosecco, is going to be on our website on Monday. I'll just pour a few more of these. All right. So, again, what if you don't like where you are in your life? What if you don't like the path that your life is on, right? You can change it at any time that you want to. Anytime that you want to. So let's talk about really quickly. It looks like we got about 15 more minutes. So let's talk about, what if you're one of those people who's like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like this ain't it, right? So we talked about changing your life. It doesn't matter when you choose to do that. It's all up to you. You're in charge. Figure out what's important to you. That's the first step, right? Figure out what it is that's important to you and why. And it can be anything, right? Like, my business is important to me. My relationship with my partner, my relationship with myself, with my friends, my family, those things are important to me. It could be your career. It could be anything. Figure out what's important to you and why. I think a lot of times everyone wants to know the meaning of life, right? Like, scientists spend millions and billions of dollars on these hadron colliders and atom splitters and all these different things to try and figure out what is the meaning of life. You give your life the meaning that you want it to have. You give your life its meaning. My dad said, Ted Richards told me it's not when you do it, it's that you do it. That is right. That is absolutely right. You are in charge and you do it whenever you feel comfortable, whenever you're ready. But people always want to know, what is the meaning of life? Why was humanity created? Like, what is it all about? You give your life meaning. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize. They're always looking for this outside influence of, why am I here? What's my purpose? What do you want your purpose to be? What do you want it to be? Why do you think you're here? What do you think the meaning of life is? So if you don't feel like you are where you need to be, if you don't feel like you like the direction of your road trip, change your route. Figure out what's important to you and why. The second thing is to set goals. Setting goals is very, 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 very important to every single thing you do in life. Anything you do in life, set goals and set attainable goals, right? I think the last episode I talked about, like, what's something you've always wanted to do in life that you've never had the opportunity to do. And I was like, keep it simple. Like, don't be like, I want to be the Queen of England, blah, blah, blah. Like, set attainable goals for yourself, right? Making a certain amount of money in a year, or going on a certain trip, or it could be small goals, right? Like, you can set daily goals, like fold the laundry that's been sitting in the chair for 2 weeks. That was for me. That wasn't for you. That was for me. Set attainable goals for yourself and create challenges, right? Create challenges for yourself. Make your goals a challenge and then incentivize yourself, right? Give yourself a reward. Don't skip out on rewarding yourself. I think that's another thing, is a lot of people just go, go, go. That's one of the things about getting in your car and going at 100 miles an hour straight through, is that you just go, go, go. And you don't really get the time to sit back and say, wow, I did that. I accomplished that. I did that for me. That is, again, the beauty of being the boss of your own life, right? Is being able to take a step back and say, that was a goal and I did that. I ain't doing nothing all week, right? When Promise Resource Network had the Juneteenth celebration on the 19th last month, I did that pop-up shop, and I did another one the same day later on that day. And when I tell y'all, after I did those 2 pop-up shops, I said, I'm not doing nothing all next week. I'm not doing nothing. And what did I do? Nothing. Sat in the house and watched Grey's Anatomy. That's all I did, because I sat back and I said, this was a goal that I set for myself at the beginning of the year, and I accomplished it. And I deserve to reward myself for my accomplishments. So set goals for yourself, set attainable goals. Sometimes we don't see our progress because we never stop to celebrate our achievements. So be sure you reward yourself and celebrate your achievements. The third thing, if you don't like where you are in life, if you want to change the direction of your life, the third thing is to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. I don't know why we as people sometimes lie to ourselves. I think it's part of the mask that we put up for the world, where we feel like we have to go home and lie to ourselves about things. Stop lying to yourself right now, today, okay? Like, be honest with yourself about your shortcomings, about your limitations, right? I knew when I was on Crowder's Mountain, I didn't need to hike that whole trail. I should have turned around halfway through like I started to, but I pushed myself beyond my limitations, which is good in some cases. But be honest with yourself about your limitations, your shortcomings. But also, more than that, be honest with yourself about what you want out of life, right? Be honest with yourself about what you know you deserve. Like, do not sit here and shortchange yourself. The world will shortchange you, because that's the way the world works, right? Like, people do what they can, they get by with what they can. And if they can take advantage or shortchange to make, to advantage their position, to advance their position, they will. And I don't mean to sound cynical, but for the most part, you got to look out for yourself. And so when you go home and you lay your head on your pillow at night, you need to be honest with yourself about what you know you deserve. If you're not happy with where you are in life, if you are not feeling the direction your life is going in, change your route, right? You're on your road trip. You don't like the scenery, change your route. Make sure you got your GPS right, because you don't want to get lost, but change your route. The fourth thing, if you don't like where you are in life, if you don't like the direction your life is headed, after you have become honest with yourself about what you deserve, go get it. Okay. Like, Nike did the best thing with that slogan, just do it, right? Go get it. Just do it. Again, we talked about, it doesn't matter what age or what stage, what point you are in life. When you choose to change the direction of your life, all it takes is the first step. It doesn't have to be perfect. Do y'all know how long it took me to actually make my candle business a business? Because I wanted it to be perfect. It's still not perfect. Okay. Like, sometimes I mess up on candles. I mess up on my website. I done shipped the wrong candles to somebody before, got somebody orders mixed up. Luckily they liked it, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But go get it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to start it. You can perfect it while you're working on it. But if you keep waiting for perfection, if you keep waiting for this thing to be the best thing for you to launch it, whether it's a website, whether it's a business, whether it's a family, whether you think about having kids, whether you think about going to college, whether you think about quitting your job and moving to a new state, whatever you're thinking about doing, all you have to do is take the first step and do it with intention. And I promise you the rest will follow, right? The fifth thing and last thing, if you are not enjoying your life, hey, Instagram, how y'all doing? I didn't forget about y'all. The fifth thing, we're talking tonight about you are exactly where you're supposed to be. But if you don't feel like you are where you're supposed to be, if you don't feel like this is the life that you know you deserve, the fifth thing that you can do is enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Go with the flow. Like, realize that every step you take and I feel like, what's that guy's name? Sting. Every step you take. Realize that every step you take and every experience that you create is a part of your journey. It's all a part of your road trip. We talked at the beginning of this video about when you're on your road trip, you can't just get in the car and go. You have to stop and see the sights. You got to take pictures. You got to refuel your gas. You got to take potty breaks. You got to take rest breaks. Your life is a journey. It is a road trip. It is a crazy, cool, beautiful, amazing road trip. And you have to be present in your journey. Just like we always talk about healing, and you have to take an active role in your own healing. You have to be present when it comes to your journey, right? So that's the fifth thing. Enjoy the journey, because that will give you clarity, right? If you're not enjoying the way that your life is going, take a second, go with the flow. And from there, you'll have clarity to figure out how to move forward, right? And which direction to take to move forward. I'm going to go ahead and start closing out because it's 5:52. We only have a few minutes left. But Benjamin Franklin said, do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Keep in the sunlight. Do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Keep in the sunlight. Stay in the sunlight. Now, life is not always sunny, right? When we talk about healing from your trauma, breaking generational curses, life is not always sunny. And we all know that. But life itself is the sunlight. Your journey is the sunlight. The moments you create are the sunlight. Stay in the sunlight. Don't anticipate trouble. Don't worry about things that may or may not happen. Don't overthink it. Take time on your road trip to see the sights, see the landmarks, take pictures, pull over to a rest stop, lock your doors, and take a nap. Don't anticipate trouble and keep in the sunlight. Life itself is the sunlight. You got to enjoy it. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. I'm so proud of myself. I finished a little bit early because I always run into Wellness Chronicles at 6:00. So I finished up a little bit early. So in the last few minutes, again, tonight, the candle that we made is Peach Prosecco. It is going to be on our website on Monday. We will have some 6 ounces and 4 ounces, as well as the cute jar that we made tonight. I can't show it to you guys because the wax is cooling. Up next, we have Wellness Chronicles at 6:00 with my dad, Aaron Wells. It's going to be good. I'm not sure what the topic is, but it's always a good one. So please, please, please stay tuned for that. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram and you want to check out Wellness Chronicles, please head over to Facebook and check out the Promise Resource Network Facebook page. They have all sorts of amazing videos, classes, virtual classes, and things like that. Real quick before I leave, coming up this Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at New Zion Missionary Baptist Church. The Black Business Expo is going to be there. There's going to be tons of vendors. It's family friendly. I will be there. Perfect for Candles will be there. We'll have a table set up with our candles. So please come out and support not just me, but all of the other Black-owned businesses that are going to be at this amazing event. Again, it's Saturday from 11 to 5 at New Zion Baptist Church, New Zion Missionary Baptist Church, the Black Business Expo. Come buy some candles. That's it. That's all I got for y'all. I hope everyone has a great night. I hope you guys enjoy your week. It's Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. I hope you guys enjoy your week. You're in charge of your life, man. We're adults. There's no teachers. There's no principals. You are the boss of your life. You are right where you need to be. And if you feel like you aren't, change your course. Have a great night and stay tuned for Wellness Chronicles up next.